Actually, my brain's broken. My brain's broken!
Hi chat, are you ready to have your brain broken? Because my brain is already broken. And I have a little fellow with me today to accompany me on this ride. For no reason whatsoever, I thought Sid, the sloth, will help me to get through this shit much better. Why Sid the sloth? I don't know. No particular reason, like, whatsoever. He just kind of, he's just kind of there, and he serves no other purpose than just to be there and not resemble anyone in particular whatsoever. But let me get some mood music going on, and then we can start this nonsense. Right. So Brittany Venti. Who is Brittany Venti? For those of you that don't actually know who the hell I am talking about and who this stream is going to feature. Well, Brittany Venti is a 26-year-old, I think, at this point in time. E-girl streamer that became popular in recent years by doing a variety of content, usually trying to pretend to be one of those traditional Catholic LARPers, maybe minus a bit of the religion part, but the traditional values kind of apply to what she's been espousing over these years. So, think of your model 1950s, 1960s nuclear American family. So, everything's prim and proper. Every gender has its place at the household, and no one steps out of line. So that's her LARP, and she's incredibly anti-sex work, anti-simp, but all of that is just a cover. Spoilers, it's a grift, because she has her own simps, and she's completely fine in doing the same behaviors that she blames others for. So we're not gonna be going too deep into her history of basically grifting people online, because that's its own thing. All of that is well documented online, so I don't have to go into that. What's more important here is her history with VTubers. So about 3 years ago, when Hololive EN was growing bigger, and Gawr Gura was just a little above 1 million subscribers. I think 1.4 million. Well, that's not a little, but quite a bit over 1 million, actually. Brittany Venti decided to do the wise thing to get attention and basically go after Gawr Gura, making outlandish claims that she's pedobaiting, that her voice, her whole appearance is catering to pedophiles, and her audience is basically that. Long story short, she got a copyright strike from Cover, which she unfortunately won. She was back in action very shortly after getting that. Never mind that what she said and part of her actions could probably be construed as defamation and slandering. We'll never know if Cover would have gotten something else out of it. But, it is what it is. And to better demonstrate the level of discourse here, because Venti sees herself as an intellectual for whatever fucking reason, and her discourse is high level. People call her a troll, but the persona outside of what's supposed to be trolling is equally as ridiculous as the one that's supposed to be a troll and just a character. All of that is once again documented with plenty of evidence online. I won't go into the specifics, but I have prepared the actual video of her going after Gawr Gura. I think that one's worth watching. I won't have to be reading a lot of tweets today, luckily. So my voice will rest for a bit. I'll be able to enjoy this thing with you guys. And just, you know, point and laugh. It's gonna be that kind of stream, hopefully. Let me get the music silent and we can go through it. You'll be extremely annoyed, that's something I can at least guarantee, watching all of her videos, because she makes arguments that nobody else but, you know, a weird right-wing LARPer would do. I think the best way to describe her is like a groiper. If you guys know groipers, America first, that kind of thing. I don't want to go into details on that as well, because I'd be sitting here for several hours explaining all of that shit to you. Just Google yourself groipers and America first after this stream is done, and you'll get more context out of it. Hold on. So the first video for which Venti actually got a copy strike, she renamed it into basically a link linking to a stream where she complains where she got a copyright strike and claiming she's getting silenced and playing a victim. But yeah, let's go. Hold up.
Hi everyone, it's me, Brittany Venti, the janitor of YouTube, here to clean up the crap that nobody else wants to. But you know, somebody's gotta do it. It's a community service, and I don't think community service is a bad thing. I saw you guys' feedback about the hissing with the microphone. I'm gonna have to find my second pop filter. Believe it or not, I do have a pop filter on my microphone already, but I guess I'm just a reptile who can't stop hissing when she speaks. I bet there's ASMR like that, because I've seen ASMR of animals doing things like a rabbit eating some carrots. Like maybe there's snakes hissing as ASMR, or maybe there's some YouTube
this is something she does frequently. She meanders points, makes it about herself, so be ready for a lot of that. She makes very few valid points or anything that could actually be construed as, you know, arguments in a discussion, so just be warned, there's plenty of this coming.
Channel out there where a furry dresses up like a reptile. I know reptiles don't have fur, but there are furries who dress up specifically like reptiles. I don't remember what they're called. I think there's a word for it. Mentally ill. That's the word I was looking for. I'll just stand there hissing into their microphone, probably getting some coomer off that has some freaky fetish like that. Sitting there at their desk like...
She really hates Coomers, even though she has her own Coomers, she has her own simps. The type of simps that are, you know, the my lady type that will role play with you and call you a kitten, you know, the kind of Discord moderators, Discord moderators thing that people do.
Oh yeah, the way she doesn't use a second pop filter. So fucking hot. Speaking of sexualizing things that don't need to be sexualized, we have some good news today. Netflix loses more money over defending pedophilia. So everyone can give themselves a little pat on the shoulder. Everyone who unsubscribed from Netflix, you did a good job. And we can't stop now. So today's topic is one that a lot of people have reached out to me and asked me to make.
Nobody did. That's her own idea.
And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this video, but it needs to be said and it needs to be done. Today we are talking about lolicons. Lolicon is the Japanese discourse or media focusing on the attraction to young or prepubescent girls. The term lolicon is a portmanteau. I never heard that word in my life.
Are you surprised? The self-styled intellectual doesn't know words?
of the phrase Lolita complex. It describes an attraction to young or prepubescent girls. An individual with such attraction is a lolicon. The problem with this definition, although it is accurate, I am somebody who grew up watching anime and I'm familiar with the term and I'm familiar with how people go about their fandoms with lolly characters. The problem is it describes not only girls who may look youthful, like petite women, who still look like women, but it also describes prepubescent girls, meaning children. So just to make it clear, I'm not talking about men who are attracted to women who are petite and small, because women who are petite and small still look like women even if they have smaller chests or flat chests, even if they have smaller hips, they still appear as women.
You know, a bit of body shaming, because there clearly aren't women out there who actually have a childlike appearance and could be mistaken for children, but are still adults. But you know, Venti doesn't believe in those.
In this video, I am specifically addressing the men who are attracted to prepubescent cartoonized girls, because there is a big difference between a guy just preferring petite women who look youthful, that are of age, and men who are attracted to the depictions of prepubescent girls and trying to use a loophole to cope with their own pedophilia that they are in denial about. Before we go any further in the video, please like the video, because this video is guaranteed going to get brigaded, and they are guaranteed.
That video before YouTube disabled dislikes, I think it was sitting like 85% dislikes to 15% likes, or maybe even higher dislike ratio, something like that. So, you know, at least she was smart enough to predict this.
Going to harass me about speaking out against them. And if it gets dislike bombed, it's not going to reach the YouTube recommended, and people are never going to find out about this subset of people who use really dumb excuses to justify their severe mental illness. And a lot of people fall for their counter arguments because they don't actually think it through, or they're ignorant to certain facts, and we will go over those in the video. A lot of these people who use images of cartoonized prepubescent girls will often try to make the argument that because the girls are imaginary, because the children are imaginary that they masturbate to, that it's okay and it's harmless because it's not a real child. So let's stop for a second and think about what these people are trying to argue for. These people are trying to argue for masturbating to depictions of children. They're trying to say that it's different because it is cartoonized. However, this is still sexualizing children and promotes the sexualization of
the who, like, censoring the word sex, like this video would ever get monetized, so you know. But she completely missed the fact that, you know, in Japan, even though in the West people tend to think that the word lolicon has an inherent sexualized meaning to it, in Japan mostly this would be more of like a major obsession with the characters that are lollies. It doesn't necessarily needs to be of a sexual nature. It just needs to be obsessive enough. That's why the complex in Lolita complex
of children. Oh, and side note, I know that there's depictions of little boys that people use as masturbation material as well. The only reason I don't mention it first is because more commonly you see little girls being sexualized. So in the past, these people have morally grandstanded me for being against the sexualization of children.
Get glassed.
Which is clearly insane to anybody else who is not also a pedophile. But to these people, they're coping so hard and are in such denial that they have memes ready to go if you dare speak out against them, and they will dogpile you. They did it to me when I called out somebody who made an image that was a pornographic scene with the depiction of a prepubescent child. They claimed because I made one very short tweet about this artist making inappropriate art of children.
I mean, if it's pedophilia, why would you show it in your video?
that I was in fact harassing them. And then they all began to dogpile and say that they were going to report me. So it's really funny how they claim I'm harassing for calling out pedophilia. Meanwhile, here they are harassing me, dogpiling on me, hundreds of anime profile pictures coming at me, telling me they're going to get my Twitter account banned by false reporting, because I did not break any of the terms of service. I did not break any of Twitter's rules.
When it comes to Venti and her history with getting suspended on Twitter, she's been suspended several times. Even now, I think she's locked because she says dumb shit all the time that gets her in trouble. She was suspended on Twitter for like a year or so, but with the recent Elon Musk unbannings, she also got her account back. But after that, she still said some dumb shit. I don't know what exactly she said. I don't follow her content that closely, but I think she's still locked on her main account.
Like I said, I don't think that pedophiles are a protected class. And just so you guys know, I was not calling all of Japan pedophiles. I was simply pointing out that they have a subculture of people who get aroused by pictures of prepubescent children, and they share them around and share it amongst one another. But from what I gather from all the videos I've watched from What's It Like to Live in Japan and what people say when they talk about Japan and things like that, although I don't live there, it appears to me that Japan is actually not very accepting of not only lolicons but otakus in general.
That's why they sell that stuff in stores. That's why there are posters where everyone can see them. That's why there's conventions and everything. Sure, your regular salaryman may think of it as weird, but saying that it's not widely accepted is just plain false.
People who watch anime, so I don't think that they're welcoming these lolicons with open arms, considering that. So these lolicons are saying that actually they're imaginary children, so nobody's getting hurt, which is wrong and incorrect, because not only are you supporting the sexualization of depictions of children and therefore normalizing pedophilia, but it also has been shown that pornography alone increases the odds of sexual violence by a factor of almost 2. And not only that, but pornography has been shown to have a role in rape cases. In one study, in 193 cases of rape, 24% of the rapists mention allusions to pornographic material. This is even more significant because these comments were made by respondents without any solicitation or reference to the issue of pornography by the interviewer. So considering these things, it makes you wonder how that will affect people who defend and support masturbating to the depictions of children cartoonized. It's pretty obvious that cartoons are not real. This is basically trying to argue dishonestly. We're all aware that 2D things are not real. That is not where the argument is, and they know it. Either that or they're in denial and coping. So considering what I just told you guys, it makes me wonder how that affects people who are sexually attracted to the idea of little girls and boys. It would suggest that it could encourage the sexual abuse of prepubescent children. Regardless if they are cartoonized,
it's a sad fact that she didn't mention what kind of pornography she was talking about in that article. She almost never links any of her sources, so she takes snippets out of articles, sometimes articles that were long debunked, and then makes a whole argument out of it, which you can't really discuss with her because she never discusses anything with anyone unless they're a popular streamer.
They're still trying to make it so that they resemble children. And another thing that lolicons like to do is they like to do the art argument, like, oh, it's just art. That's all it is. It's just a picture. A picture of what? This is something I ask with
Of a cartoon?
The OnlyFans girls that do the same type of argument. Why don't you go ahead and finish your sentence? A picture of what?
Cartoon.
A picture of your butthole that you're selling for $3.
See, this is the kind of arguments she makes. She compares, pictures of like photos of real people to drawings.
Dollars to a stranger on the internet a picture of a child being sexually abused. The reason they don't and will just say, oh, it's like crayons on paper, is because it's a cope, they're in denial, and if they weren't, they wouldn't be trying to sugarcoat it. They know it's wrong. And yet somehow for them being sick in the head, I am called an SJW. Well, you know what? If being anti-sexualization of minors makes me a SJW, then call me Anita Policeman, because these lolicons should not be on the internet openly promoting pedophilia through some loophole of where they'll say, oh, actually, this depiction of a 7-year-old child, they're actually like 1,000 years old, so it's fine.
Yeah, and she grows back and forth into adult forms too. She sucks blood, she rips her own limbs off, she even rips other people's limbs off. She's kind of cool like that.
No, you are still masturbating to children. Get it through your heads, because you're a fucking monster. And I'm telling you guys, the worst thing about it is that they're out.
I don't know about you guys, but the more I look at her, the more my left eye goes to the left and my right eye goes to the right. There's just something wrong. It's mesmerizing.
In the open, and nobody says anything about it because they will just get dogpiled by a bunch of predators. And a lot of them have self-admissions of this guilt. They go and try to argue sometimes for the fact that it helps prevent child abuse. So therefore, they're kind of admitting that they're a pedophile, and masturbating to the thought of children prevents them from sexually abusing children. How about we just not sexualize children, period? Is that really just the hottest take of 2020 now? Apparently I'm the SJW now, while simultaneously being called a racist. I don't know how this happened.
Well, it says like that Japan be like pedophilia, ooh. So, you know, you answered your own question with your own screenshot.
And while we're out here destroying the cope and denial of these lolicons, you know, while we're at it, allow me to reiterate that
the PowerPoint quality presentation of our video is amazing.
Japan doesn't want your ass either. They don't like you. They would not welcome you. A normal person in Japan would not welcome you with open arms. They think you're disgusting because you're a pedophile. What else do you call a grown man masturbating to the thought of children? People need to stop trying to be empathetic towards these people and their mental gymnastics of trying to justify why it's okay, and just recognize that it's part of the problem of trying to normalize pedophilia that we are seeing in 2020. And funnily enough, the UK seems to agree. They had a court case where they actually charged somebody for having child pornography by having Lolicon manga. So go.
Oh, you mean that UK that has rape gangs going around and policemen don't report them because they're afraid of being labeled as racist? That UK? That criminalizes almost everything, and there's even jokes about having licenses for things that are normally available in normal households. You know, that UK that has all of these problems, couldn't be you know, a bigger problem for them.
Figure with all the Lolicon defenders being out here like it's not child porn. Well, according to somewhere it is.
Oh, yeah, Protect Tech. This shows how much research she did into that.
I thought I pointed out that it has been done. Somebody has in fact been charged before for possessing lolly manga, and it has happened.
And she, you know, skips around US laws, then she goes to New Zealand, then she goes to the Australian shit. She just skips around, never explains what's what.
Been not only in the UK, Australia, but also in the United States of America. An American man pleaded guilty to importing and possessing Japanese manga books depicting illustrations of child sex abuse and bestiality. Just so you guys know, it's not even legal in the first place, at least not in Australia, the United States, or the United.
And with that case, I think he already had something that was actual child pornography. I don't remember the exact case to that. But just for simple illustrations of things that don't exist, nope. That thing didn't happen. Not to my knowledge.
Kingdom. Or at the very least, people have been charged for it in these countries. I just want to go over this one more time just to make sure we are absolutely clear. I don't have a problem with Japanese artists, like how people go full SJW and they hate that Japanese artists give someone really big boobs. I don't care. I've already stated my stance on that topic. I am against the sexualization of children, however. And for those of us who aren't predators, we know the difference between a petite woman and a literal child. And yes, I recognize that there's butthurt women out there upset about petite girls with big boobs. I know there's those people
See? Body shaming. She gives 0 fucks.
out there, and they're not pedophiles. They're just really offended. So this kind of leads me to where I was going with the whole point of the video. There is something called Hololive. It is where people use avatars, they call it virtual reality, and they have it there on camera, kind of like live streaming or making videos and interacting with the chat or comments, and they do various things. But it's come to my attention that a lot of them are actually also used for pornography to create kind of like 3D hentai. For example, Twitch partnered one, and it's the same one that was used on Chatterbait. All they did was switch the clothes around a little, but the 3D model itself that was used on Chatterbait, that is also now on Twitch, was still sexualized. Like, they still made it so the model's boobs would jiggle a lot, and their shirt literally says fuck on it. And
No, that's Faku. That's a company that sells manga and doujinshi. Could have taken one Google search to know that.
things like that. And they even left a sex toy on the bed accidentally on one of the Twitch streams, and Twitch partnered it. So half of Twitch's audience, which is underage approximately, is going to be watching that and getting horny and then searching up hentai. And
We'll get into these demographics of VTubers later on when she goes into her most recent video, but she's under the impression that most VTubers are actually watched by children, whereas this is just very far from the truth.
developing porn addictions. So that's why I think it's not good. And, you know, I've covered a million times why porn addiction isn't good and how it affects everyone. So Project Melody is a good example of using VR and how it's sexualized. Now, with that said, there is something called Hololive now that they do in English on YouTube. Before it was just Japanese, and now it's in English as well. They have little lollies, prepubescent girls, on YouTube. And my first impression of it was, oh, is this like a child show? Is this a kid's show? Like, kids can see it, kind of like Dora the Explorer, and like interact with it. And then
Like, for someone that grew up watching anime, she really doesn't understand anime aesthetic, so saying that she thinks that kind of proves that either she was lying about growing up with anime, or she, you know, she just strawmans the whole argument in order to make her already very bizarre points stronger, at least in her mind.
come to find out, no, actually, the chat is full of 40-year-old men getting off to the depiction of.
She really likes to mention that age thing. Like, she even checked those demographics. She really doesn't know shit.
A 9-year-old. But you don't have to take my word for it. You guys can see for yourselves.
Salmon is my favorite. How do you spell salmon? Is that right? Salmon. It looks like this. Yay! Salmon! Yahoo!
Yeah, Gura got a lot better since the debut. She was really on the shy side. But Amelia's debut, wow, that one was something. Almost dropped her after that one.
As you can see, this lolly, which is depicted as a prepubescent child, is voiced by somebody, and the person voicing them is, number one, putting on a childish voice. This is not the voice of a woman, but you could say, oh, some women sound childish. Okay, then what about the fact that the lolly is pretending to not know how to spell words? You know how
You know, to be cute, being a childlike doesn't necessarily mean one is a child.
children don't know how to spell basic words and they will tend to misspell them because they're just learning how to write. That's what she does. Is that just pure coincidence?
How do you spell stomach?
Or, you know, Gura likes to pretend she is a dumb shark, unlike Venti, who is an actual dumb woman.
Oh, alright, that looks good. Okay, signature. This one I know.
The funniest thing is, I think the actual Gura, the real Gura, is most likely about the same age as Venti is. Might be like a year or so younger or something like that, but they're almost the same age.
Oh, yeah?
Absolutely pathetic. You
Yeah, pathetic.
have 80,000 men watching this live,
Implying all of them are men, of course, because only men can... this appeals only to men.
acting like they're children watching Dora the Explorer. Looks to chat. Can you say pedophile? And the big question here is, why are these men attracted to infantile behavior?
Okay, moving on. My favorite color. Can you guess what my favorite color is? You're right.
You know, it's pedophilia when the girl acts innocent.
It's pink. You blue. It's blue. Well, I missed the line, but I think that's legible. Oh, okay, it's getting worse. Alright, well, okay. My favorite color is blue. I love blue. Isn't it pretty? Can you guys tell me what you think my favorite color is?
And the whole chat filled with grown men is just like, blue! It's blue! And if you still are not convinced that this wasn't in fact made for children or something innocent like that, then you can go on YouTube and look this up yourself. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen blurred just to be safe. But the lolly, or the virtual reality model of a prepubescent girl, goes
She
ahead
really thinks that would get her age restricted. Jesus Christ.
in her live stream and shows an upskirt shot of another lolly in the same live stream of 80,000 people watching. It's really sad when you think about the fact that some of these people watching this weren't always like this, and what probably happened was the idea...
Well, they probably stopped being differently abled when they saw your videos, so you know, it's all your fault. You turned them into this way of life.
Of how the modern woman is was such a turnoff for them, and they were so sexually deprived as well that they chose to turn to this. And I'm not trying to blame women for men being predators or something like that, but I'm just trying to explain a possible cause and effect, and that it's kind of sad for everybody. There are a lot of things that are sold to us about what the ideal of the modern woman is, such as opening an OnlyFans, that I really do not like and am also disgusted with, but that doesn't mean I'm going to go and sexualize the idea of a child. One last thing I want to mention, this voice actress of this virtual reality lolly makes me cringe every single time they feel the need to make that noise, gross, disgusting noise that's probably done to pander to men and turn them on. I just can't. It makes me cringe. I just want to say that I acknowledge that there are people who watch this for...
God, I love her fucking audio mixing and background noise. Professional fucking YouTube content creator. At this point, making videos for several years.
entertainment value, the VR stuff. However, it is very clear who the market is and who it's pandering towards, and that is what I'm addressing in this video. There's nothing wrong with using a virtual reality model. I think that they're really cool, but I'm not cool with how they're being utilized to pander to predators. Anyway, I hope that was in-depth enough about the lolly issue that I don't see anybody talking about. I see people talking about furries, but nobody wants to touch on the lollies. I mean, not in that way. I'm gonna end the video. And before I end the video, there's something important that I had not mentioned earlier in the video that I think is very important. So I hope people stay to the end to hear this part. And if they didn't, please link it to them if they're in the comments talking about how lolicons don't do any harm. Okay. There was a person that messaged me telling me that they were grateful for me speaking out against lolicons because they were abused by lolicons.
You said video with terrible audio balancing. Jesus. It's sold out. Yeah, you know, feds or actual children sexualizing themselves online is a big problem, like here, but a lot of these are either actual pedophiles or you know, feds acting out the thing. But when it comes to minors, especially on Twitter, them sexualizing themselves is an actual problem. And then they do expose themselves to predators. But, you know, one good argument for a video of terrible arguments is something else. But, you know, talking about minors sexualizing themselves and then putting those said quote-unquote sexualized minors in your video, it's kind of suspicious to me. Jesus Christ. Yeah, she made the argument that if Lolicon culture continues, this is how these minors are going to be ending up. As feds on Twitter. Yeah, that hashtag really took off.
Thank you, Spectral Citizen and Hammer of Light, for being $100 patrons, as well as Shampoo Venom, who is my first $200 patron in the new tier that I made on Patreon. I recently changed a lot of the tiers up on Patreon and added a few extra things, so check it out if you haven't, because you might want to join our Discord. We have a community where we
that fucking photo.
We talk to each other, watch movies, post funny things, talk about relevant topics, and things like that. If you're somebody who likes to chat whenever I do the live premiere of these videos, then you might like being in the Discord, because it's kind of like that. If when this video ends you have that sinking feeling of oh, it's over, then you should consider joining the Discord, where we continue the fun. A big thank you to my
Yeah, she has simps. She has plenty of them too.
Community for
someone that doesn't like simps or coomers, she has plenty of those orbiting her,
enabling my existence on this platform. Thank you all for watching, even though it's been a little bit dark lately, but I do feel it's necessary. I'll see you guys next video. Bye bye. Hi everyone.
Part 2 of this nonsense. Hold up. This one's after she got yeah, I think this one's after she got a copyright strike by Cover. Still waiting for an apology. The amount of hate you're spouting is downright disgusting. Oh, she got roasted really well. I mean, even if you consider this is just her troll and she doesn't believe in anything other than just getting attention from people, would you really want to make yourself look incredibly exceptional and that's your whole career online? I mean, if you have no pride and you like to get money from that, sure, go ahead, knock yourself out. But for the rest of people, I think they'd rather do something else. God, I love these strawmans.
Hiyo everyone. My last video that I made on this topic of lolicons got a lot of attention and feedback, and since the lolicons loved it so much, I thought I'd make another one. I'm going to be going over the point—
Oh, this one is pre the copyright strike. We'll get to the copyright strike thing after this one is over.
I made in the last video, as well as expanding on those points with new research that I have found. So without further ado, today we will be talking about lolicons and their male counterpart, shotacons. Now, I am specifically talking about the root of the word loli, which stems from the term Lolita complex, which refers to the sexual attraction to prepubescent children. And obviously, I'm not referring to children or kids who are sexually attracted to other people in their age group. You are not included, nor are the men included that are just sexually attracted to small and petite women. Furthermore, there's nothing wrong with finding things cute. We are specifically talking about the sexual attraction to the depictions of prepubescent children. The key word here is prepubescent. So we are not referring to, for example, teenage women that look very womanly and curvy. We are specifically referring to the depictions of prepubescent children, even if they say they're 9,000 years old. The first thing we need to address is the misconception that lolicons are harmless. This has been an argument that has been perpetuated by lolicons time and time again, and people fall for it. And that is because their counter arguments always seem reasonable. They usually say things like, it's just lines or it's just pixels. But for those of you who follow my content, especially my anti-porn content, you know that the OnlyFans girls use the same argument. It's pixels, it's just a picture.
Reiterating this shit because she doesn't have any other original ideas to share with people.
Sure. As I said in my previous video, if you notice, if we start completing our sentences in what these are pictures of, it starts to change things a little bit, and that is why that information is intentionally omitted, because these people, whether it is an OnlyFans girl or it is a lolicon / shotacon, know that it is more beneficial to omit this information, because if you say pictures of my butthole or pixels of a child being sexually exploited, it sounds pretty bad. It's a way for OnlyFans girls to paint the picture that they're not prostitutes, as well as lolicons to try to paint the picture that they're not consuming.
Again, not even remotely equivalent. Photos of real people versus images of things that are completely unreal and unrealistic.
What is basically child porn. People will believe them and not stigmatize what they do. Using the definition I gave earlier from the root of the word lolicon, lolicons are in fact child predators. Tell me, what is the difference between the definition of a MAP or MAP,
How can you be a predator to a drawing?
which is the politically correct term for a pedophile? What is the definition difference between that and lolicon/shotacon? There is none. They are both sexually attracted to the thought of minors. No, it is not just anime pictures, it is not just pixels. Lolicons love to misrepresent the argument that people are saying that pixels are children when that is a misrepresentation. The argument is not that pixels or lines are children. The argument is that you are enabling
Hey, it's pedophilia. That's why I'll put it on screen and put it in the video.
predators to have fat material and therefore act on their urges, as well as normalizing the sexualization of prepubescent children. In reality, we call people who are sexually aroused by the thought of children as pedophiles or MAPs. But in the world of online and anime and consuming that, it seems as if pedophilia is being marketed as some cute and playful innocent thing, when in reality, lolicons and shotacons are dangerous predators. People accused me of deleting comments, not knowing that YouTube has an auto filtration system, which is common knowledge. But why would I delete the lolicon's comments when they did such a good job at proving my point that they are in fact dangerous? The lolicon community sure has shown how
I mean, dangerous to bibbos, I guess.
They are, between the constant harassment they have given me on various platforms, trying to deplatform me and false reporting my video, threatening lawsuits, messaging my moderators on my community Discord. They were getting harassed, and they even sent me death threats, all because I criticized lolicons. This is why nobody criticizes them, because as soon as you do,
Well, nobody likes to be called pedophiles. Harassment wrong, but, you know, don't call people awful things.
They will try to deplatform you and dogpile you. They're over here in my comments section threatening lawsuits like, Clover will sue you for defaming my 2D
She keeps saying Clover.
waifu. Let's put this in perspective.
People
are trying to ruin my livelihood over their waifu that is quote unquote just pixels. These lolicons have done an excellent job at proving me right and proving that they are mentally ill and dangerous.
Censored, she's pulling on her panties. Yeah, because, you know, you consider this pedophilia, you consider this CP, but, you know, showing it like that, it's okay. It's censored YouTube. It's just censored child porn. Nothing to see here.
Dangerous. I don't know what the FBI is doing watching incels. They need to be watching lolicons because these people are sick. I mean, like, seriously, look at these people on Twitter. These lolicons trying to brand lolicon as being a Chad and alpha thing to be. And he's not joking, by the way. And the person who made it for him, funnily enough, has an avatar of one of the Hololive girls. Clearly, these people are not mentally stable and do act out. So what do you guys think they do when they see little kids? They groom them. And people have messaged me about this. Lolicons, because they are predators, because they're sexually attracted.
No. Those are pedophiles. Pedophiles groom real minors. Lolicons are attracted to drawings.
To children, they don't see children as children. They see children as shotas and lollies, not as kids that they are sexually abusing or exploiting. And that's how they justify that behavior. If you don't believe what is common knowledge that media does influence people and therefore people posting sexualization of children is a problem, let us go through.
You know, you're just posting it. You're part of the problem, I guess.
What I found on Pixiv. Pixiv is an image sharing Japanese website that is used worldwide where people upload pictures. People often upload art of children being sexually exploited.
Hey YouTube, here's child porn.
Including including disgusting depictions that were
I'm sharing child porn with everyone on YouTube. That's why my video is still up, because I have child porn in it.
very hard to look at, such as grown men having sex with what appears to be a child and pissing on them. And these are straight toddlers. You can't sit here and tell me, oh, where do you draw the line? These are literal babies and toddlers where they're drawing pictures of men
She has hardcore taste, even I don't like this shit.
ejaculating on them and peeing on them. And if you thought that people in the comments would show concern or say how disgusting it is, you'd be wrong. The comment section is filled with comments.
Pixiv, look up toddler pissing 18 plus.
Like these. In response to these pictures, Shotololly18 says, sexy. I'd love to see a version of his foreskin being pulled back on his little pee-pee. On babies is the best. I agree. Cute. What a cutie. Now I want a baby too. XD. Nice. Early training is so important. Could someone please tell me what her name is? I've seen this character so many times. Also, tell me the original creator if possible. The naughty little slut should really be wearing a diaper, else she'll make a big mess. Fantastic work. What a good girl. She's practicing for daddy. So you have people on here begging for the original source of the art and talking about how they can't wait to have a kid one day so that they can do it to the kid. I honestly cannot believe that somebody would see this and try to argue that this is not the breeding grounds for predators. And you know, guys, this isn't hard to find. This is very easy to stumble upon on Pixiv, and it's up on their site. Look at this one. All lollies, toddlers, baby girls need to be publicly raped, bukkakeed, and impregnated. 3 exclamation points. Of all of my years of being on the internet, this is the most sickening thing I have ever seen. It actually disgusted me so much.
She's so disgusted. You can really hear it in her voice. So emotionally charged.
I felt like throwing up reading through this on my first read through. And mind you, these horrific images are tagged under lolly. And it's not incorrect to say that these are prepubescent little boys and girls. That is what they are. You can sit there and say it's just pixels and lines all you want, but there are many predators in the comments using this material as a breeding grounds for their sickness, and they are going to act on it because they already do. Let's take a look at what this pedophile said in a Reddit AMA. Question: I've always felt a deep sympathy towards people like yourself. I'm curious, what legislation can be done to help people like you? I know this is a controversial idea, but would it help if you were able to get a prescription child pornography? It would still be illegal to make and distribute, and the videos confiscated from offenders would have to be altered in a way that protects the identity of children. Or how about a prescription?
Reddit is always very accurate when it comes to stories, especially MAAs and all of that. But then again, you know, there are people that can't tell reality from fiction, and those are the ones we should be concerned about. So if something leads you down a slippery slope, as it says here, you should check yourself before you wreck yourself.
CGI
Most people aren't like that.
Child pornography seems like a victimless crime. The goal would be to increase the quality of life of pedophiles and also provide them an outlet so they don't act out on their impulses. Of course, this would have to be studied to make sure it has the intended effect, but if proven to work, I'd be for it. Not that it really matters because this kind of legislation would never pass. And the pedophile and
I vaguely remember Vosh advocating for I think it was Vosh or someone else. I don't remember anymore. There's so many weird people advocating for CP for pedophiles. Like, seriously? And, you know.
answers him. That's an interesting point, and the idea of a safe outlet for these feelings is something that has had negative consequences. The pedophile continues to say, I initially started my interest looking at anime-style images depicting childlike characters, and this led me down a slippery slope towards seeking more real and graphic images. This is because by feeding an obsessive behavior, you increase the obsession. A Japanese pedophile has set up companies selling silicone-like sex dolls, which he claims will help people avoid acting out. But you've got to be pretty obsessed already to spend $6,000 on a sex doll.
You know, better than that than actually hurting a real child. You know, seek help, but this is still a lot better than, you know, harming someone.
And I suspect that some would be spurred on by this. There you go, you heard it from the predator's mouth. One of the worst.
In fact, if you are a genuine pedophile and you know you have urges and you know it's wrong, then, you know, spending that 6K on something that will withhold those urges and stop you from hurting someone is a good thing. You should still try to, you know, fix yourself somehow, but this is still better than anything else.
Realizations is that when you go on Pixiv and you click on these people's profiles, you will discover that many of them profit off of these images that people like to call art. You know, the images of babies being raped and peed on, they sell them and make money off of it. They post it on porn websites and they even sell manga of it. And this is not hard to find whatsoever. It's very easy to stumble on Pixiv, and there's not much you can do about it other than report it on Pixiv. And funny enough, among these pornographic images of prepubescent children, guess who comes up? Gawr Gura, the shark girl. The more we allow this to continue and not stigmatize it, the more these people, these lolicons and shotacons, will continue to try to normalize pedophilia. And the more that this is accepted, the more that children that are victims and being groomed will not feel the need to speak out and report it, because for all they know, it's just a normal day of sunshine and sexual exploitation. All it takes for a normal guy online to turn into one of these predators is to one day search a lolly character with the term naked and go on Pixiv or otherwise even on Google Images and develop this sickness, just like people do when they consume too much regular pornography, and their fetishes get worse and worse because it is like a drug. It messes with the chemicals in your brain the same way drugs do, and you need a harder and harder hit. You develop a tolerance. And just like the pedophile in the AMA said, one day,
you know, there's also the pipeline of starting off with real porn and then going to fictional porn and then staying with fictional porn forever because real people are 3D pig disgusting. But, you know, she only believes in one pipeline. Sexuality is so simple that you always have to go up. You can't stay in one place or you can't go down. It's always... you start with something harmless and then you get into more extremes. She only believes in that line of thinking.
Lolly porn won't be hard enough of a hit. Let me tell you guys, I am so sick and tired of seeing these lolicons cope by posting that Japan is this holy land that has no problems and no sexual crime. It is.
No. People don't think that. That's a strawman argument. Only the most hardcore weebs, which I haven't seen, think that Japan is without problems of its own.
It's a bullshit lie. Japan has such a bad problem with their women getting groped, sexually molested, that they had to dedicate train cars on the train only for women and children to prevent it. Not to mention, in Japan, rape is severely underreported. Unlike here in the US, though we have underreported rapes and there are cases where people don't report rape, we have a culture that encourages us and empowers us to come out and speak out against it. From what I understand in Japan, it is not like that, and women are basically treated there like second-class citizens, and they're scared to even report sex crime.
Yeah, but how does this relate to Lolicon, other than, you know, saying that Japan has problems?
50% of women have reported that they have been sexually harassed in public places alone. Additionally, it's important to discuss that children make up a large percent of sex crimes in Japan, And I highly recommend that you guys look at these images, and you can also take a look at the sources in the description as
The amounts of sex crime and crime that related to abuse of children is actually on the decline in Japan. So, go look at sources is something that she tends to do, but those sources usually kind of defeat her own arguments, if not contradict them entirely.
well. It's also important to point out that Japan, despite the population being less than half of America's, have double the amount of adult videos per year. Finally, in Japan, there is a huge problem with minors partaking in compensated dating, aka escorting or prostitution. So that's a little insight on the sex crime in Japan and why lolicons and shotacons are ridiculous for using Japan as an example for why there should be depictions of...
No one does that. That's an argument that doesn't exist, and I haven't seen anyone make that argument. And I hang around a lot of lolicons. I don't know who makes that argument.
Of children getting raped for them to masturbate to. Next, I want to talk about Gawr Gura, which is the Shark Girl VTuber. I mentioned her along with Project Melody in my last video to talk about virtual YouTubers. Many people misunderstood and thought that I was saying they were part of the same company, which is not what I thought at any point. I brought them both up to have two examples of virtual YouTubers or VTubers, and for some reason, even using the term VTuber seems to really piss off people, even though it's an applicable term that applies to both of them. I think it pisses them off because Project Melody is outright pornographic. People who are huge fans of the Shark Girl seem to want to maintain the image that it's completely innocent and not sexual. In the case of Gawr Gura, the Shark Girl VTuber, she not only looks the part of a prepubescent child, but also has the mannerisms and baby voice of a child, despite being voiced by an adult.
You know, it's pedophilia when the woman sounds youthful.
She is, without a doubt, considered a lolly. Therefore,
Nice allegedly.
she's going to attract a lot of lolicons. I want to take the time to acknowledge that it does take some talent to do what Gawr Gura does on her live stream, such as sing. I heard her cover of Tatsuro Yamashita, and I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. I've never had to pronounce it, but he is one of my favorite city pop artists, and I am a huge fan of city pop. It is my favorite genre.
Yeah, you don't even know his name and pronounce it properly, but it's your favorite
Of music. And it has been hands down for years. City pop, for those of you who don't know, is older pop music from Japan, basically. It's very chill and has a certain aesthetic to it that's very...
Now, this just sounds like jealousy. It doesn't add anything to her argument. Why even mention this?
Very funky. But anyway, I heard of Gawr Gura's cover of it, and I can see why somebody would be entertained by that. And watching her doesn't automatically make you a lolicon. And it's totally understandable if somebody finds her cute, like how they would a kitten. As I stated in the first video on this topic, I never thought that VTubers were...
But she's a human. She's a performer. Stop dehumanizing Shark Girl.
Were inherently bad. But with that said, she still attracts lolicons, and that is because she is considered a lolly by lolicons. Part of the Shark Girl's appeal, despite there being talent, is her cuteness. And men do find cuteness to be sexually attractive, which is why lolicons will go to this stream. Research on facial attractiveness has pointed out that there is a presence of...
Yeah, she did admit she was wrong. She just does that and, omits everything else. That's the sort of argumentation that she will be using much more frequently as this video goes on.
Childlike facial features that increase attractiveness. These features are defined as a large curved head, facial elements, eyes, nose, mouth, located relatively low on the face, large, round eyes, small, short nose, round cheeks, small chin, and obviously height and build is also a factor in that as well. As you can see, Gawr Gura matches this description perfectly, and her body is in proportion with that of a child as well. Additionally, Gawru's personality is also childish as well. The shark girl's personality is also childish.
Oh no, look at the terrible art she's retweeting. Too bad you didn't see most of the cool art that she retweets.
She often does kind of like a childish babble on her stream, like goo goo gaga.
Right. Shall we? So.
Like, I think she just watched 2 of her streams because she goes back to the debut stream and then just shows the one where she first sung. I think that was the first time she did karaoke. So I don't think she watched much of her, like, at all.
Okay.
And even one of the first things out of her mouth on her debut was saying ah, and everybody went crazy over it because they thought it was funny and they made memes out of it, but they also thought that it was cute, and therefore in people's eyes who find this sexually attractive,
it's pedophilia when the shark girl says ah.
Attractive. Additionally, I mentioned in the last video that she misspelled several basic words in English. I mean, heck, stomach, which is one of the words she misspelled, is one of the first terms you learn how to spell in Japanese. Even I know how to spell it, and I am by no means fluent.
What? What the fuck did she just say?
She also misspelled the words salmon as well as Twitter and twister. And people defended this, saying the voice actress's first language isn't English. When you Google Gawr Gura, the summary basically says that the character was intended to be played as a girl from the underwater civilization of Atlantis who's learning what it's like on land. Knowing this information, it would appear that the misspells are in fact intentional, which is why they're done several times intentionally to make sense with the character. So basically people were using a defense that they didn't even know was true because they don't even know for sure.
We even told her that. Like, she just looked at the comment, oh yeah, it checks out, no more research needed.
Who the voice actress is. Nor do they know for sure if English is her first language and Japanese is her second. Some might call these assumptions on their end a little bit racist.
It's really special.
My whole point of pointing this out was to highlight that Gawru,
like, yeah, she's contradicting her own points now.
Is in fact a lolly and has childlike behavior, looks like a prepubescent child, sounds like one, and pretty much might as well be one despite having a 9,000-year-old age. It's just a loophole for people to say, oh, it's legal to give themselves a pass if they're sexually attracted to her. It's okay to find her cute like you would a kitten, but it's another thing when you're a lolicon and you're using this as fat material, which a lot of people in that live stream definitely are. I mean, this is what lolicons like. My first impression of the Shark Girl stream was that it was a child's show, and I'm a consumer of anime. That's the sort of vibe that it gives off. And although not everybody
didn't watch much anime though
is sexualizing her, I can't help but to see a large overlap with the My Little Pony fan base. If you guys remember back 10 years ago, or for those of you that don't, My Little Pony was a big thing when I was a
It's over, VTuber fans. You're being compared to fucking bronies now. It's over.
Teenager. I think I was around 14, and I remember it was a huge thing, bronies going around talking about how much they loved My Little Pony despite it being intended as a kid's show or a show for girls to be appealed to with because it was very, you know, cutesy and feminine. Similar to why girls may watch the Shark Girl, because she's also cute and feminine. Despite My Little Pony being intended to appeal to girls for being pretty or children to watch, many creepy men would watch it and sexualize the characters while pretending they watched it for other reasons, when in reality their reasons were very perverse. It doesn't mean that My Little Pony is bad, but at best you have adults having a bizarre fixation on childlike things despite being outside of that age group. And at worst you have adults sexualizing something childish by doing things like,
oh no, weirdos are weird,
drawing porn of it, in My Little Pony's case, pony porn, or ejaculating onto the little pink pony toys that are in.
Oh shit, she has that Fluttershy cum jar. She found it.
Intended for children. It's pretty obvious
Or
that
was
they
it Rainbow
find the
Dash
cuteness
cum jar?
sexually appealing
There were so many
and
cum jars.
sexualize a
It was
child's
trackable.
show, and not in the same way that some of us may find it innocently cute. If you look at Gawr Gura's counterparts from Hololive, you will find that when they have a more mature voice or design, they are not as successful as her, even when they look childish, because the personality isn't as childish.
I used to play it on the Xbox, because on the Xbox they sold it as like part of the orange box, and one day it was on sale for $5, and that's how I fell in love with VTubers.
Classic Hololive. I miss those days.
But actually,
Shall we? So,
Again, she just always goes back to the debut. That's the only video she watched.
yeah, okay.
Thousands of Lolicons congregate here to sexualize the depiction of a prepubescent child.
I mean, how? Like, come on, man. Like, one debut, and she's making the continued arguments about sexualization, where this was just, you know, a cute shot girl acting innocent and childish, but the sexual element never leaves her mind. No.
You can even see on the Twitter account of the Shark Girl that she retweets art on her official Twitter, and in those photos, her proportions are also undoubtedly childlike. Finally, my last point in proving that Gawr Gura is in fact presented as a child or lolly, despite having an adult voice actress and being over 9,000 years old, is if you go on Pixiv and search under the kana Rori and Yojo and scroll down, you will find that Gawr is one of the first results to come up. If Gawr Gura is really truly viewed as a 9,000-year-old person, then why is she one of the first results to come up under the tag little girl, along with...
Because it's a body type. It's not the age that matters to this. She'd know this if she did any research on this subject at all.
endless pornographic depictions of children.
It's always
so
the
that
aesthetic.
pretty much wraps that up.
Jesus Christ.
There's a couple of counter arguments that I wanted to address. The first being, you're just jealous. First of all, this has been a meme in my community for months and months, maybe even years at this point.
Oh, it is years. 3 years later, she still butthurt about that. Even in that stream that we're gonna be watching about Ironmouse and some other VTubers, she mentions jealousy. Like, she's completely butthurt. Has lived in her mind rent-free for 3 fucking years. The video is almost over, and then we'll go to the copyright strike, and then we get to the Ironmouse.
Point. Anytime you criticize another female as a female, you just get called jealous, and your criticism gets invalidated. It is an invalidation tactic. You know, if you want to take all of the things I've presented to you guys today and walk away with "you're just jealous" as a non-argument, then feel free to do so, but this is actually ridiculous and comical. First of all, Gawr Gura isn't even a real person. There's a
Yeah, but there's a real person behind her. Much more popular than you.
a voice actress, but she's hired by a company where I presume they heavily script everything and control everything. You guys are literally simping for a company. You're not even simping for a girl. You guys are kind of worse than the Pokimane simps. Like, at least you're simping for a real girl. And as unlikely as it is,
correction, I think Gura is more real than Pokimane could ever be. Just the thought.
they just might have a chance at meeting her or something. Meanwhile, you lolicons out here that are saying I'm just jealous are out here simping what you call just pixels. It's even worse than that. You are simping for a company. You're not even simping for a person or individual. This is a company. This is a product that was made to pander to you. It's honestly embarrassing how easily manipulated some of you are. I could easily turn around and say I got a $50,000 donation for wearing a turtleneck on stream, and I didn't need the help of a company to do that. The fact that I have to actually sit here and explain why I'm not jealous of an imaginary girl. And I swear to God, these virtual girls can do no wrong. And not even just to lolicons, to the simps in general that will go out of their way and simp imaginary girls and simp.
Again, she has her own simps. Her own simps are fine, but other people's simps, bad.
Me death threats. I remember back when I used to stream and had cleavage on my streams, how much crap I got for that and called a whore. It didn't matter that I didn't believe in casual sex, and it didn't matter that my body type was curvy. All they saw was cleavage and assumed that I'm a whore. Meanwhile, you have this Hololive girl with a massive amount of cleavage, and I don't see anybody calling this 2D or 3D girl a whore.
Oh, you should go to VT. There's plenty of that. Plenty of that name calling there.
For doing that, it seems like they're just always innocent and can't do any wrong. And the same applies with simping them. In my live premiere of my previous video on this topic, when I talked about my patrons, the lolicons in chat were spamming simp. Meanwhile, they're simping for girls who aren't even real. Next, I'd like to address the argument where people compare pornographic depictions of kids to video games causing violence. This comparison really doesn't make sense, and video games have various engagements and goals versus pornography has instant gratification with one purpose. Porn's pathology has one direct cause and one...
I made these images in Paint with a lot of arrows in them. That's why my argument is valid. That's why fictional violence is different than any sexual acts. That's why my argument is more valid. I'm completely qualified to make those judgments.
Purpose. Someone shooting someone else has many causes and variables. Shooting, you don't know the causation, as opposed to porn, there's only one causation. The next counter argument I see a lot is actual predators are a more pressing manner and therefore we shouldn't focus on lollies. Media containing lolly and shota are a breeding ground for perverts like them. Yet, you cannot even scrutinize lolicons or shotacons without getting severely harassed.
You know, you called them pedophiles first, so scrutiny is not what I would call that.
Like I have, threatened, or an attempt to be deplatformed. If we were to speak out more against lolicons and shotacons, it would be preventative for child abuse, and that is worth expanding our focus on, as well as predators who do go out and act on their urges, because lolicons and shotacons are included in that as well. Why would you not want to prevent child abuse? One last inconsistency I want to point out is that people seem to be okay with my message that porn is bad until it involves anime or hentai. All porn is bad and exploitive and will cause addiction and cause you to need harder and harder hits. I've covered this topic a million times. Anime is no exception, and clearly there are people being exploited. And by anime, I obviously mean pornographic anime, hentai. And a really important thing to note with hentai, if you go on the most popular
Kids are being enticed to watch hentai, anime porn because of the cartoon style being appealing to them, potentially causing early porn addiction in minors. You know how you prevent children watching porn online? You parent them properly. It's not the fucking porn's fault, it's fucking parents' fault for not keeping their fucking kids in check. And it's still much fucking worse now than it ever was, because parents don't do jack shit to control their kids' behavior online.
Hentai sites and you do the math, on average, you will get approximately 40% of the results being Lolicon and Shotacon. And that goes to show how big the market is for predators. The Shotacon and Lolicon content that is very present on the most popular hentai sites is a problem because it provides content for child predators to use and eventually get sick of and have to move on to child grooming. The answer to pedophilia isn't to give them more child porn and promote their sick fantasy. The answer to pedophilia, well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say on YouTube. The nice answer that several states do not provide by providing castration is to go to therapy and to work through those problems if possible. All lolly and shota porn does is encourage predatory behaviors, and if you disagree, how do you know that's true? We need more people to be vocal about this issue because every time someone does, they are a sore thumb and they're all able to easily dogpile on one person and try to silence them. I'm not going to let these predators silence me, and neither should you guys. I encourage you to share this video and speak out if you are also against lolicons and shotacons, especially otakus out there. Because the last thing you need is to be associated with predators when you just want to watch some anime. In conclusion, people are really upset that I don't support them masturbating to the depictions or thoughts of children. If you try to criticize these psychopaths or raise concern about them, you will get dogpiled on and attacked, or worse, maybe threatened or deplatformed as well. I think that we should stigmatize and actively shame child predators, including lolicons and shotacons. Additionally, I think that we should outlaw the severe cases and pornographic depictions of the little girls and little boys, with some obvious exceptions, for example, educational. I know this video is going to be long, but it was necessary to address everything that I could. Obviously, because I'm covering sensitive topics, YouTube is demonetizing me. I don't make any money from these videos. So I want to thank my community for funding me because I am community funded by you guys. You allow my existence on this platform, and I really appreciate you guys supporting me through the dogpiling of these.
No, she showed a lot of meme arrows as proof of her arguments and articles that, if you check them out, they debunk a lot of the points that she made herself. So, you know, the intellectual discussion, only the top shelf of YouTube content right here.
Predators. If you would like to support me and my content, you can do so at patreon.com/BrittanyVenti or go to my website BrittanyVenti.com to leave a one-time donation with a message. I encourage you guys to join my Discord. We have a community of non-pedophiles where we chat and have fun and do community events together. We are truly in this together. It is.
If I cared enough to cover some of her moderators, they're much worse than she is. The people that hang around Venti are, well, fucked up is one definition, exceptional is another, but go look it up on your own. You'll see some truly deranged individuals, much worse than what she paints lolicons and shotacons are.
It's us versus the predators, and we have to stick together. Special shout out to the people who helped me produce my content: Spectral Citizen, Hammer of Light, and Shampoo Venom. You guys are the VIPs. As a thank you for sticking through this video, please enjoy the new thing that I will be putting at the end of my videos. I like to call it the Trophy Wall of Tears. Enjoy, everyone, and I'll see you next video. Bye bye. And fuck the Lolicon community. Unless you're a child, then don't do that. They'd like that.
Please someone teach this woman basic video editing. The wall of tears is people calling her an idiot. But yeah, she's a troll. Like she doesn't mean anything. This is all 4D chess that she's playing with people. She's actually really smart and knows how to get attention. Well, getting attention is probably the one thing she's effective at. But you know, let's go over something else, and that's her getting struck by cover. This is a real quick thing, and then we'll finally get to the main event, which is her stream. Gonna be jumping around that one because it's pretty long, and when she's unscripted, she's just vapid. Like if you thought this was vapid, like you haven't seen anything. So after she got struck by cover, she did a whole live stream. We're not gonna watch that because it's just several hours of complaining, of pretending that she's a victim, that she's being censored and all of that. The video that she got struck for was the first one, and then she had to change the title. She thought that would help anything. Next one. Here's a little something that I found while looking for transparent PNGs for this stream. Very ironic. Here's the copyright strike notice that she got from YouTube. It was both in Japanese and in English. Here's her stream where she complained about everything. As you can see, wasn't taken very well. The company of Hololive agency, which has VTubers including Gawr Gura, attempted to copy strike me because they didn't like my opinion, despite it being fair use and 100% transformative. What she got struck for was basically those clips from Gura's debut, and that's the only copyright strike that she got. No other actions were taken after this. Then YouTube sided with her. And that was pretty much it when it comes to that. Here's someone wondering, I don't know why they went for copy strike. Defamation would have made more sense, but you know, Cover probably thought it wasn't just worth it to go after one bimbo. I knew I would, and I knew I would because Vindicated Venti always strikes again. This is just gold. Good luck with the oppression. It's like neither you or Nick nor the Daily Stormer can catch a break. This was good. Put all this woman that Gura is Japanese. Instead of doing a live stream for about 3 hours, why not make a nice, compact, actually edited video where people can understand what you're actually saying? Your predator bait lollies company copy strike my content that was fair use to try to silence me. You hold the L. And here's her thanking YouTube for basically helping her get over, as she says, Clover's copyright strike. So that was pretty much it when it comes to Gura stuff. After that, it was pure silence for 3 years, followed by her getting suspended on Twitter at one point, just making weird videos that are anti-porn, catching on to every single drama that was possible back then, shitting on Pokimane because that's an easy target. I think Pokimane video is actually one of her most successful videos in terms of views. I think it has several million views, something like that. So she made several others of similar type to this. But yeah, that's her story of getting fucked by Cover and nothing really coming out of it. But at least Cover did something, as little as it was. But yeah, going forward, we're moving to the Ironmouse stuff, which was an actual live stream, not a scripted video. Let me put that up. I'm gonna be jumping around this one because it's not all VTubers. She continues to make arguments about how Twitch leads young women into the sex work industry and then to OnlyFans. The usual stuff she talks about.
Well, yes, it is part of Black History Month to be several hours late. How could you tell? Yes, I am black, so I am allowed to be late on my month. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah, one additional thing before we get through this. I did a little compilation of what her chat was saying during all of this because I didn't download the video with the chat. So some of the highlights are gonna be shown here. Hold up. It's gonna be like this. I'm not gonna be reading that chat thing. You guys can read it on your own. It's set to automatic, so the images there are gonna be changing. But to give you a small preview of that, it's mostly gonna be people saying, "Oh, that's a dude with a voice changer. 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 That's a dude with a voice changer." And pedophiles and groomers. That's the only joke her chat has, and it goes over and over again. So yeah.
Feeling good. I was feeling a little bit dizzy, so I was trying to wait it out to when I would feel better. I still don't feel 100%, but it's I guess good enough.
I'm gonna skip on because she really likes to talk about things nobody really gives a shit about. She gets to the VTubers pretty late on, like an hour or so in. She goes over age demographics of Twitch too, and doesn't even do any proper research onto specific demographics of specific streamers she's gonna be talking about. This is nothing too interesting. But then she gets to Ironmouse. Up. He starts
Most
around
successful streamer on Twitch by whatever metric they're using here. With my Google Translate that's failing me right now. But this brings me to my next point about VTubers. And again, I don't have an inherent problem with VTubers. I think it does allow for creative freedom. I think that it's a good concept, but as anything else in the modern day, it's been hypersexualized.
Like 3 years later, the same fucking arguments over and over again.
Hold on. I had to take a coconut water break. But basically, Ironmouse, I was randomly scrolling on Twitch's Just Chatting section, and to look at more, to get more of a perspective on this topic, to kind of freshen my memory. And, you know, not to my surprise, there was a lot of explicit content on there, as I showed you guys with the one of the first things I saw not logged in scrolling with the P-Hub stepsis, and she looks nude in a suggestive position. But I also saw this VTuber, and they're named Ironmouse, and they have 1.4 million followers. And
the only reason she does this, as she did with Gura, is because, you know, the most popular thing will get her the most attention. This is not to demonstrate any significant points for her arguments. This is always just going about after the most popular thing, because that will get her the most backlash, that will get her the most attention. And then people that agree with her vapid takes are gonna congregate with her. As you can see from this chat here, how ridiculous the people are that watch her, sometimes even fucking more ridiculous than she herself is. So, yeah.
I just want to give this for context. In their own bio, they have it right here, what their product is about. They're a sweet 2D anime waifu, meaning that their brand is based on pandering to simps. So now that we got that out of the way, the first thing I saw on this stream, by the way, when I randomly clicked on it, okay, it's one of the top streams, had 7,000 viewers at the time. One of the
10 times, over 10 times more than she does, by the way.
First things I saw on their channel when I stumbled upon it was them talking about kissing, how a girl kissed them and how it was not consensual, but it wasn't in this like dark tone where it's like, I was touched without my consent. No, she's like in a VTuber. Let me show you how she looks, okay? So this is how she looks. And she was like, yeah, a girl kissed me without my consent. And it's like this teehee, like, I'm pandering to the horny men in my chat kind of thing. And that really does seem to be what the brand is about this parasocial relationship, girlfriend simulator thing. And you can even tell
she has no idea what kind of content Ironmouse does. She really, what she says from this point on kind of, I'd say, borders on character assassination, because she has absolutely no idea what kind of content Ironmouse does.
By the chat's interactions with her, it's almost as if they actually think they're having some sort of intimate connection with this person. And I'll show that with some of the clips. But obviously parasocial relationships can happen in general, just like if you have an unhealthy minded individual that gets too obsessive. And
she has the same kind of people in her own chat. She really fucking does. Catch any of her streams, even go to the VOD of this stream that I'm showing you guys, and you'll see a guy that sent her a super chat asking if he can date her. And, you know, she has the same kind of audience that she says that other people have.
And it becomes stalkerish. Obviously that can happen to anyone, but as we saw, her brand is to be an anime waifu. It's like literally to be romanticized, to have a crush on. That's what a waifu is. It's like, oh my god, that's my wife.
Oh, you know, it's just a meme. Girls who call themselves waifus as VTubers as a joke. It's not necessarily has anything to do with, you know, establishing an extremely parasocial relationship between them and her audience. But, you know, considering how much she knows about anime and how much research she does, this is just par for the course.
So that's what her branding is. There really isn't much arguing about it. And if you guys want to see what I was talking about with the whole like, a girl kissed me, tee-hee-hee, to like rile up the horny Simpson chat and to, you know, tap their heartstrings of desperation. It was somewhere around an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 17 minutes. It was from her stream today. She's still live, so I can't rewind it to give it to you guys. But once she goes offline, it was from, unless it goes to the next day, it was from 2:18, because that's today. And it was at the timestamp around it was...
The mischaracterization of what Ironmouse does is the most egregious thing that she does here. It's just so fucking wrong.
Somewhere between 1 hour and 10 minutes and 1 hour and 17 minutes where she said that. So I got the approximate timestamp. And it was like, tee girl kissing up permission. But I do have some examples to show you guys in terms of like the parasocial dynamic, not just in the advertising of what she's selling herself as a product, but also just like watch the chat during these interactions. You'll see what I mean, where it's kind of weird. It's weird. It's as if they think that this is their girlfriend and they're conversing with her. It's not like how on some streams, like if I watch a stream, I comment, right? That's normal to comment. I will watch like Chrissy Mayer and go and chat.
Hey Venti, look above Ironmouse's head. What do you see there? Precious family. Put 2 and 2 together. What kind of audience do you think Ironmouse wants? Does she want simps? Does she want people that sexualize her? Does she want to give them the girlfriend experience? Or does she want to have a comfortable stream where everyone feels welcome and feels like they're part of the family unit? Like, no, use your thinking cap for a moment. And, you know, research who does that.
And comment, but I know her in real life, so maybe it's a bad example. It's fine to comment in chats, but it's the way that they go about it to where they think they're in a personal conversation with her. They're not adding like an intellectual comment. They're not adding to the commentary of a topic.
The intellectual discourse that she has in her own chat, as you can see here on the left, like what people talk about in her chat. It's very highbrow, very YouTube scientist adjacent. You could even say it's highly philosophical what the people there are saying. That's totally man. This is so damn weird. This is CP basically. Weeps. Lol, so weird. 45-year-old man and his friends.
It's mainly like, oh really? Is that so? Type of thing. Like, no way. Like when she talks.
Chat, I'm gonna be honest with you, okay? I appreciate the concern. But please understand,
like they'll be like, oh no,
we all talk to each other in private, off stream.
Oh, the chat's so cringy. Chat, respect mouse. Ooh woo.
Well, I've never seen such a punch.
I'm cringing.
And if there are issues, we'll deal with them privately, off stream. Not in front of you. Do you understand?
Venti is the type of person that makes men hate women.
Otters.
I understand that you're upset. And I understand that you care about the well-being of somebody.
Yes, moving on. Yeah.
She's so fucking awesome here. Like, Mouse is talking about a very serious topic concerning the V-shoujo girls, you know, and how they talk to one another, and the fact that there might be some you know, some problems in the background. But of course Venti doesn't notice any of that, or purposely just focuses on how she delivers that message, painting her as like some kind of ooh precious shit fucking anime wife as she appears in her own brain. So yeah, this is complete mischaracterization of how Ironmouse actually is.
Best move. Like,
But
it's just
please
something
understand,
about the way she's talking to them and the way that they're communicating back. It has that very strong parasocial dynamic. Again, plus the whole bio of, I'm on purpose trying to be an anime waifu. I am trying to pander to desperate horny simps. That is the explicit branding. It's not just like an after fact thing because she's a woman on the internet. And naturally, there will always be beta orbiters, of course.
Like her fucking own.
So anyway, it's interesting with her voice, by the way. You see, she says she's adult woman here. Could have had me fooled, honestly.
She has no idea about her history. He has no idea about her medical issues. And as the chat goes on, I didn't capture that because that wasn't necessary. As this stream goes on, there's more and more people calling her out on her bullshit and mentioning Mouse's physical condition and how all of this contributes to how she sounds, to how she behaves and all of that. So she of course doesn't acknowledge it at all, and she just keeps being dunked on. If YouTube still had dislikes, I think there's still way to see those via some apps or something. I think that video already has a ton of those. I'll probably need to check after this stream is over.
Could have fooled me.
Hold up, baby. I am not a baby. I am an adult woman. I am an adult woman. I am an adult woman in an adult world, doing adult things.
It's very dysfunctional with the chat. Like, some of them are typing that with one hand.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she's an adult doing adult
so fucking
things. Could have had
disgusting
me
with this
fooled,
thing.
right? Especially after seeing this clip. I thank God she clarified, because otherwise I would have thought she was a little baby. Goo goo gaga.
3 years later, the same fucking argument that she used for Gura. It's goo goo gaga all the fucking way to the bank.
Ooh woo.
Why didn't you fucking tell me? Ah! How long has it been that way? How long? I need to know!
But who am I kidding? I'm just jealous, okay? She's
See, 3 years later, she's still on the jealousy thing. It never left her mind. Completely fucking rent-free.
naturally like that. She just naturally talks like that. I'm sure. It's not because she's a anime waifu.
Rent-free as fuck.
To, desperate, horny men, or boys, considering it's Twitch. Please make it stop. Yeah, honestly, I can't take the squeaking. It was pretty hard to go through her content with all the squeaking. Like, we need to bring back that.
Yeah, going through her content, just looking for moments to strengthen your agenda about her sounding cute and pandering to simps and horny men. Never mind that she had some pretty fucking serious discussions over the last few days with her chat. Never mind all that fucking stuff. And never mind that Mouse herself has certain ideas about parasocial relationships. Things even Venti would agree with. Never mind all that. Gotta have that narrative.
That term squeakers, because there's a lot of squeaking going on for a grown woman. I don't know what it is with a lot of VTubers. For some reason, a lot of them squeak. It's really strange. I wonder why. Austin Caster, thank you for being a member for 2 months. Anyway, I'm just going to try to get to super chats after this. But here's some clips I found that I wanted to share with you. If you truly weren't convinced that this is not for the...
I'm happy that her chat conveniently covers her face, because I couldn't look at it much longer than I have for the last 2 hours.
reason of pandering to desperate horny simps, including little boys on Twitch, because, you know, there's no real age filter on here. Again, I don't have a problem with VTubers. It's the way that it's conducted.
Are we back now? That's for after stream. Y'all act like you don't have fun over there, too. We all have our funs, don't we?
Ooh, you're masturbating to me, right? Ooh. Don't forget to be a tier 3 sub. Ooh, wow.
Jesus Christ.
I'm an adult woman. So there's that one.
You know, sometimes maybe violence is necessary. Sometimes.
Then there's this one after it as well. And I just want to give
the image on the lower left? No, that's just Sid the Sloth. Just he's just there coincidentally. He just appeared during the start of the stream for no particular reason, just to keep me company.
a quick little reminder before we go through these that I found these pretty quickly. Like, these are just on the...
You can't tell me this woman isn't jealous. You can't tell me. Like, you can't tell me this is trolling at this point and she's playing for the intellectual chess with everybody. You can't tell me that. It's bullshit.
clips page, okay?
That you own half of my place, even though we just met a day ago, even though we've only known each other since we were kids, but then we lost touch and we haven't spoken to each other in years. So I definitely trust you, and I'm definitely ready to give you all of my shit. But first, let me take off my shirt and change in front of you instead of going into the bathroom so that you can see all my cool muscles. I was like, oh my god, your muscles are shining and they're glittering. Oh no, what is that? You have a big bruise on your back.
The squeaking.
What? Did you get that saving me? I know I said that I was gonna stay on one side of the room, but let me step over the boundary and touch your muscles because I'm very concerned about your life right now. And then he's like, whoa, you want to touch my... Oh, you want to touch my muscles?
Yeah, it's very interesting. The reaction from you guys is, what the fuck is this? That is a man. And versus Twitch chat just spamming their ooh emojis they paid money for. And typing kek, lol, lamau, raffle. It's very interesting, the polarization going on here.
Yeah. Your completely exceptional chat formed of the most intellectual people on the planet, making one singular fucking joke, and a chat of people appreciating a streamer and having fun with her, instead of, you know, being passive aggressive and making childish fucking jokes. That's something.
The pure disgust from my chat versus her chat being like, wow, she's so funny and cute, aha. Like, I don't know how somebody can be turned on by that squeaking voice. I'm sorry, guys, I'm just jealous. She's just naturally like that. The pure waifu.
She is.
Who's not allowed to be criticized. How dare I? How dare I overstep my boundaries? How dare
I mean, her critiques are just, you know, petty insults. Like, how's this any critique of anything she's doing? This is just, I don't know, to the point of just shaming her for her voice because she sounds like she sounds.
I swim over that boundary
even though we just met a day ago, even though we...
Okay. And then there's quite a few of these, okay? So clearly it happens a lot. If the first thing I saw from this stream was her talking about, ooh, a girl kissed me, and it's literally the first thing I saw on her stream, and then I'm able to find these clips so quickly. And this is over the course of like 1 or 2 streams, by the way.
That you own half of my place, even though we just met a day ago, even though we've only known each other since we were kids, but then we lost touch and we haven't spoken to each other in years. So I definitely trust you, and I'm definitely ready to give you all of my
Sorry,
shit.
they're out of order.
But first, let me take off my...
Oh yeah, this voice changer bullshit thing. There isn't anything as sophisticated to create this type of voice that her chat keeps accusing her. Oh, this is a man with a voice changer. This is a man voice changer, and constantly just spamming that one singular fucking joke. This is just so damn predatory. Like, these people are fucking stupid. There's no other description of what's going on in their chat.
My shirt and change in front of you instead of going into the bathroom so that you can see all my cool muscles. I was like, oh my god, your muscles are shining and they're glittering. Oh no.
Someone should
what
make
is
an
that?
ear
You
rape
have a big
version of
bruise
this.
on your back. Oh my god, your muscles! Did you get that saving me? I know I said that I was gonna stay on one side of the room, but let me step
There's
over
two of
the
these clips that are
boundary
similar,
and
but
touch
they're
your
different.
muscles
Hold on.
because I'm very concerned about your life right now. And then he's like, whoa, you want to touch my...
Okay, it was that one. And then there was, I had to make you guys experience the cringe again, I'm sorry. And then there was this one.
Just so fucking petty.
Well, it just so happens that I have an extra large wiener.
So it's just endless clips of this. Sure, that one would be fine, but it's just like the whole
We just met a day
thing.
ago.
We saw that one. Then there was this one.
That's not the
Sorry,
point of
guys,
this show.
it's obligatory. I have to show this or people are going to say I'm just jealous. So, you know, you have to sit through this cringe like I had to. Like, I'm not going to sit here and cringe at this alone. I need support.
Well, how does this absolve you from sounding jealous? That doesn't really change anything.
I can't tell you because that's not the point of this show. But I have a job and I'm a tired woman because I haven't been fucked and I you know I'm very uptight, but I just really want to do well in my job. But oh my god, who is this? Oh, this is your new boss. Yes, I'm a new boss.
And I want to point out too, not only is there a lot of again, we went over the age demographics on Twitch, right? So we know who's watching. It's explicitly waifu material. In her bio, it says, I'm the anime waifu. You know, I'm a product here to pander to horny simps. Translation. And there's just endless amounts of, I don't even know, like, explicit commentary. And you guys know, like, I don't want to try to come across like, oh my god, I'm a pure... Like, obviously, I have an explicit sense of humor, and I make jokes all the time.
Explicitly stupid.
But it's the whole product. It's the way that it's marketed. It's just constant. It's the fact that she's like a child cartoon. And again, I grew up watching anime. I get it. But
yeah,
she's,
a
and I'm
child
not saying
cartoon.
like, oh, she's a lolly. I'm saying that like as in she's cartoonish. Like as if a child would like watching that. Hence, it's going to entice Twitch's underage, very large underage audience to click on.
Let's interrupt this stream for a second and let's talk about Ironmouse's demographics and who actually watches her. And who would be better to explain her demographics than Ironmouse herself?
Guys, I looked at my demographics, okay, for the first time, and I have to say, I'm surprised that there are so many ladies up in here. Ladies, thank you for watching me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching me, ladies. There's a lot of ladies here. Percentage? I think it was like 17.9% or more, or like 20-something%. Let's go, ladies!
This is a very large female demographic for VTubers.
Sisters! My sisters! My sisters! I checked. I never checked my demographics, but I did. 83% rise up. The 83%. The 83%. Okay, it was 17.4%. And then male is 81%. 35.5% of people that watch me are from the ages of 25 to 34 years old. 45% 18 to 24 and 9%, 9.3% 35 to 44, 3.7% 45 to 54. What's up, my daddalies? What's up, my daddalies and my momalies? What's up, guys? Guys.
So, you know, apart from the fact that her streams are marked as 18 plus, they're marked as adult content. She also doesn't have children in her audience, so Venti did so much research on that she can basically get fucked. Let's return to her nonsense, because she has more to say that you guys don't really want to hear.
On this and watch this and see the explicit content, because that's what they're clicking for. She chose to have this.
The vast majority of adults is Ironmouse's audience.
Avatar made like this to look like this cartoonish way, and yeah, it's cute. Anime is very cute style. I appreciate.
She keeps making the argument that kids are like almost the primary audience for VTubers, just because a cartoonish anime style is what attracts children. But if she did just a little bit of research into these demographics, she would see that that's just completely wrong.
Aesthetically, anime, I based a lot of my own aesthetic off of growing up watching anime, but this in particular is marketed in a way for kids. It's marketed in a way that kids happen to like, I suppose. I don't know if that was her intended audience. I would imagine she doesn't care. I imagine she would know.
Yes, she knows, and she does care. She knows who her audience is, and if you watched just a little bit more of her, and if you didn't construe who she is and how she acts, you would know that too. So yeah, this is character assassination, and Venti is just a vapid whore.
Considering the demographics on Twitch and the sexual nature of the content, where it's just constant, and that seems to be the whole focus.
Yeah, cherry-picked clips of Ironmouse making sex jokes is the whole content that represents Ironmouse.
It's not just like a dirty joke here or there. It seems to be.
It is a dirty joke here and there. Ironmouse has always been like that.
Like, I am a waifu. I am here to have a parasocial relationship with you.
God, that woman needs to be slapped. Calling for
About
violence
how she
on
wants
youtube.com.
to, get fucked.
Subs, what the?
In Minecraft.
What is going on? Oh god, I'm growing. Help, I'm growing.
And the reason I'm showing this is to point out the jiggle mechanics. Like, she added those jiggle mechanics.
What the hell? Evil twin! Thank you for the...
She didn't have to have jiggle mechanics on the VTube model. That is pretty much for the...
You're saying that women's breasts have a natural jiggle to them? And they're not just rigid pieces of flesh?
For the reason of making boys online horny.
Yeah, as I said, 3 years, the same fucking arguments, the same kind of jealousy. Never left her. This is Brittany Venti, the exceptional 4D chess playing troll that everyone says is so good at trolling. It's not just a incredibly stupid woman.
It's not like, oh, she's just a girl and she's wearing a tank top and there happens to be some cleavage. No, this is like you went and ran something that made you have jiggle mechanics. Like, you went out of your way to have jiggle mechanics on the tits, but somehow it's there's no intention there. I don't know about that. I don't know. But in case
the whole thing about showing off her body, she really likes to go after other women that do that on Twitch. But if you ever bothered to look at her Instagram, she has a lot of cosplay that's very revealing. At one point, she even cosplayed as fucking Tifa. Whole fucking cleavage out. So, it's okay when she does that. It's not okay when anyone else does it. Because, simps. These girls have simps. I don't have simps. I have gentlemen that follow me. They don't want to date me. They don't want to fuck me. They're here for my brain, for my opinions that a 14-year-old could make. Highbrow intellectual content only here on Brittany Venti's channel.
you guys are wondering, like, and the same thing I was, are there any guy VTubers? The only
Oh, this one is great. You'll see how she makes fucking points about male VTubers. That's the fucking highlight of this fucking stream.
one that really came to mind, and I don't even know if this is the case anymore, was It's a Gundam. It really does seem to be, for some reason, I just can't figure out why. There's basically only female VTubers that are popular, and if there are male ones,
No. You looked so hard for these fucking male VTubers. You only found It's a Gundam who doesn't even consider himself to be a VTuber. God fucking damn it.
clearly they're not popular enough because I haven't seen them. As someone who's not really into watching VTubers in particular, I haven't really seen any through searching through most popular on YouTube, and even on Nico Nico, which is a Japanese video site. You can search on there D Live, which is the program for VTubers, and you just see it. It's basically, there's this one.
She thinks it's D Live where it's 3D live, meaning, you know, people are just live and showcasing 3D models. This is how she searched up Nico for VTubers. She's so fucking stupid.
Where there's boys, that doesn't even look
And
like
this is supposed to be trolling,
you know,
quote
I went to
unquote.
the source and it's all females, but in case it's like, okay, maybe there's a language barrier, maybe that's why you're only seeing girls. Well, I also noticed that on Twitch as well, and I went ahead.
Where are those male VTubers? I put in one search wrong on Nico Nico. I can't find anything. Where are they? Who knows?
And took a couple of screenshots of what I was seeing on the front page, meaning the top, like, I don't know, 300 streams that were on at the time. So there was this one, little girl, this one, little girl, this one, younger girl, not quite like a little girl.
That's still a lolly.
But, you know, young girl. I don't know what it is. It must be a coincidence or something.
It's a coincidence, or maybe I'm stupid. Who knows? One of the two.
It must be a coincidence that most of Twitch's audience is boys, and that all the VTubers that are even visible on the page on Just Chatting are girls. I don't know. Maybe I'm just jealous.
See? This is the third time in this stream she repeated about this jealousy. It's just, again, lives in her mind. Doesn't pay the rent. Keeps on knocking at her fucking door. Yelling at night. Having parties. She's jealous as fuck.
But yeah, I actually found other VTubers too in middle of my search. And like this one. This is a debut stream of this VTuber.
Untuk menggapai target marketing yang lebih luas ya. Jadi mungkin
Going after Kobo now.
I don't know what it is with these VTubers and their squeaky voices.
Kobo is tiny as fuck. She's also very young.
I don't know what it is. Why they're all girls? Did they not make boy VTuber models? It's very strange. Or how about this one in I think this one's in English.
Spicy food.
Like, she only finds the debuts. She doesn't look for any fucking other content. Like, I don't know how her fucking search processes work.
Everything I eat is basically very spicy. I can't help it.
I don't know why they all talk like little children. It's weird.
Stop shaming these fucking women
Not
for their
literally all,
voices.
Like, there definitely are some VTubers I saw on Twitch that had. Well, you know what? I'll just let you guys watch.
I mean, you may not sound like a child, but you have the mentality of one, so you know.
The ones that I found without the higher pitched voices, and I'm not just talking about like a feminine voice where it's very clearly pitched up. But this is what I found in my search of finding VTubers that didn't have squeaky voices.
And laugh at it, but I decided against it. XDD. Literally, yo. Hi everyone. Yo. I sign yo.
And I also found, let's see if this person is still alive. Oh, they're not. Okay, let's go to their video.
She won't find shown though because that would require some effort, and her searching methodology doesn't allow to get more varied results other than debuts and cherry-picked clips that she herself didn't make.
Oh, that avatar, okay. Definitely nothing sexual about that.
I want to get him leveled the fuck up. Water sport? Ain't no way I'm getting water sport.
So that's what I found when I was looking for the not squeaker VTubers, was this lovely biological woman.
Oh yeah, casual transphobia as well, because gotta go with that fucking right-wing drift.
With her classy VTuber avatar, as we saw in the beginning of the stream. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I found.
Slappable woman.
And I thought it was pretty ironic to find this little gem in there.
Cheers. Oh, Jesus. Hello?
Mousy, I need your help.
Yes?
Do you know if there is a way to browse the internet safely? I'm scared.
Of course!
Me too. That's how I feel after going through Twitch, going through YouTube, just growing up on the internet in general. How I feel is just like there is no safe way to browse the internet. As things are right now, there is no safe way, especially if you're a kid. So that seems to be what's popular. For some reason, it's all girl VTubers that are popular for no apparent reason. Okay, literally could not find a boy one on the Twitch page. Through my YouTube searches, I didn't really see any boy ones. I think I saw maybe one on the YouTube search under most popular from this year, even searching the live streams and things like that. So yeah, go figure.
I searched for 5 minutes. Couldn't find anything. They must not exist.
That's basically what we're at now in terms of the pipeline of Twitch to OnlyFans and Twitch to pornography. As we saw earlier, it's very easy to search on Google to find porn, and I think that Twitch really does, between Amaranth and things that are, you know, cartoonish that children like, that are at first don't seem as explicit. I think that really does lead children down the pipeline of becoming addicted to porn, and also with YouTube leading young girls and young boys to opening OnlyFans and being groomed into doing it. So I don't think it's good for kids to be exposed to this.
She jumped from 0 to fucking 100 immediately. Hey guys, let me show you something vaguely sexual that sometimes is like maybe 5-10% sexual. Let me cherry pick some examples. Let me misconstrue someone's character to strengthen my already ridiculous argument. And, you know, my simps in chat are gonna be happy with that. They don't care about what I have to say. I'll just have my king of chat there donating 260, and I don't need simps, you know. I just reward them with a huge fucking sign over my head. I don't have simps. People like me for my opinions, not because I'm a woman on YouTube.
And I hope I've enlightened you guys. Damn, this is so sad. Yeah, it is, but that's what goes on the platforms.
The so sad comment, I think, was aimed at her whole stream and argumentation that she was using, not at the content she was showing.
It's the parents' problem. I don't think it's just the parents' problem when porn's literally thrown in your face no matter what platform you go on. Literally, I can't stop porn from popping up on my stuff.
That's kind of your problem. I don't get porn if I don't want to see porn.
I wouldn't be so quick to just blame the parents. The parents are a factor. But is it morally correct for these companies to profit off of getting your children addicted to harmful things?
Again, these things are age-gated. You vapid bimbo. Kids won't find them unless kids turn off their filters, and then, you know, parents are to blame because they don't watch what their fucking kids are doing online.
Are they completely free of that? Do they get to just wash their hands of...
The internet doesn't need to be sanitized because adults are irresponsible and how they deal with their fucking children. You're starting to treat those same adults as fucking children. Because everything needs to be sanitized to, you know, submit to your fake Puritan, because I really don't fucking believe she believes any of that shit. It's just a fucking grift.
Potentially ruining your kid's life and grooming them. They just have no responsibility in it. We're supposed to just say, oh no, let's put it on the parents. They have the resources to stop this.
They already do. They already have age gates for fucking everything.
You think Twitch doesn't have the resources to stop like Amaranth from using Twitch as her advertisement to her porn? While little boys are watching that don't know how to consent, they don't know how to say no to that stuff, and they develop addictions and weird. And by the way, just quick reminder, as you watch more and more porn, the likelihood goes up of you developing weirder and weirder fetishes that are dysfunctional, like peeing on each other or becoming a furry. You guys remember the furry on Twitch? How that was a Twitch staffer, and they were just out in the open doing their kink shit on the website for kids to watch? Yeah. So I'm not thinking it's 100% just the parents' fault in this. I think that the companies do play a role, and they have the resources to stop making it so readily available. And
you know, you may not like your titty streamers on Twitch. You may not like the hypersexualized content that a lot of them do. But again, all that shit gets age gated, and if it doesn't get age gated, that is actually on the streamer. And you know, Twitch as a primarily a gaming platform and as a talk platform does indeed allow for that kind of content to exist, but everything else is on the parents when it comes to their kids finding shit.
They don't on purpose because it's profitable. They think that it's not worth the resources to stop it at the very least. Like, this has been going on a while. I want to give you guys a quick little reminder of what was on Twitch not too long ago.
I'll skip around because
not just the
she
dear
does
Twitch
return
staff
to Ironmouse at one point,
but
she goes after these
I just can't believe,
titty streamer arguments.
I'm just saying, if I said this on
and
Twitch,
all the
they would have
stuff.
100% banned me. What she says here.
Very bruised, and I just wanted to I wanted to help somehow. And he's like, you can help by fucking coming.
I don't think you'll get banned for innuendo.
For that.
No, not
At
for
least
that.
back in the day, they would have. But now it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little more loose.
Oh yeah, isn't she actually banned on Twitch? I think she actually is. That's why this is part of the whole jealousy stuff that she keeps on bringing up. I think she's actually banned on Twitch. Don't quote me on that, but I think she is.
Just like the women on there. And that's how you do a dirty joke. But let me show you guys what was on there not too long ago.
Let's skip around. Because she goes after, you know, streamers wearing cat ears because, oh, that's bad. It's childish and wrong. I need to skip around. When she goes back to Ironmouse and other VTubers.
So, excuse me. What the fuck is this? What the fuck? Malaysia VTuber Water Dragon wet sign putting content. This is on Twitch? Are you for real? You're just trying to watch a funny video game stream as a 12-year-old girl or boy, and this is what you have to deal with? You have to click past this in the recommended? I'm kind of scared to click this. I don't know what's gonna be here.
Oh, my sensibilities.
Yeah, fuck them.
Is that a
You know,
man?
if they actually read this, they're probably gonna be like, fuck me? The fuck I do to you?
Yeah, so there's our answer about male VTubers. Why there's no male VTubers, I guess. There are males, they just use female avatars because they see that is what's successful, I guess.
Just quit my college or dropped
Or
out,
maybe
I
I'm
guess
just
you'd
jealous,
say,
I don't know.
right? And then like, even though I dropped out from my college and university, the fact
Chad, if it's possible to get brain cancer by watching vapid whores on the internet, then I want reparations, because I genuinely think I'm getting brain cancer from this bitch.
that I'm actually still able to use that knowledge from my business study when it comes to like promoting, marketing my stuff, is I guess not bad.
If you masturbate to this, you're gay. I'm just gonna say it.
No comment. Everything I say from this point onward about this woman it may be construed as violence, maybe misogynistic, but I'm justified, chat. I'm giving myself the misogyny pass, and I hope you give it to me too. Press M in the chat if you give me the misogyny press against Brittany Venti. We're removing her rights as of this point.
No, like, we're not doing this, like, people were having this whole discussion of like, oh, if you do something that's trans person, are you gay? Like, if you are watching that and you are typing with one hand, you're gay. You're gay. Just be honest with yourself.
Thank you, chat. I'm now a full-fledged misogynist against Brittany Venti and Brittany Venti alone. And you can join me in hating her as a woman and as a person, because she qualifies for all of that.
I'm clicking through it off camera now because I stop. I'm just gonna show you guys for like 1 second. Like, this is a man. Woo! $10 from BM. Shout out to only decent streamer worth watching on Twitch, the bimbo goddess Mira Misu. Yeah, shout out to Mira. Mira
Cool.
Misu. She's actually unironically funny. She's always been very funny. She's been a huge inspiration to me.
I wonder who that person is. I don't know most of her pose. I guess you'd call it that. But hanging around her, you know, the company probably is similar to her, so probably not anyone worth following. And again, I don't want to blame by association, but who'd be friends with this thing? I don't know.
Like, especially starting out, because we just have like a very similar sense of humor where it's more crude. So obviously it's not about me being a Puritan. It's just a matter of fact an issue and influencing negatively and causing a lot of problems in our society. Push-ups 2345 $2 super chat. Did you see Leanne's interview with Carrie Smith? No, what happens in it? Is there something I missed?
Let's
Mike,
skip
like,
around
what did they
again.
talk about? Mike D to our
Okay, back to Donkey on Ironmouse.
universe anyway, considering what I had to watch today. But you know what, guys? Like, I'm sure there's some mysterious disease in the world that makes you sound like this naturally without trying.
Oh yeah, she got those chats about Ironmouse's condition, and now she not that she feels a little bit bad about it, but more so she's gonna look like a fucking asshole. Better backpedal just a bit.
Why didn't you fucking tell me? Ah!
Yeah, that's what happened to me after I got my booster as well. Totally a mysterious disease. I agree. I shouldn't have been so cocky. SP Elite $2 super chat. Both extremes on the political spectrum. Watch. Heretic $2 super chat. It affects her lungs. She can't leave the house. Ah, yes, it is. So.
And then you wonder why she got banned of Twitch for opinions like this. I don't say this a lot because cringe is a word that Zoomers use, but she's cringe-worthy. Like this really this really like makes me look like my avatar, jumping up and down right there.
Okay, so you're telling me every single person with lung cancer also sounds like this too? Yeah. These are the dreadful effects of lung cancer, if you guys didn't know. If you cough too much, this might happen to you. You might sound like an anime waifu on the internet.
God, she's so fucking vile.
Naturally. You know, you just wake up and you're just squeaking. You're just squeaking everywhere. It's part of the chemotherapy. Damn, I gotta quit smoking. No, you got a smoker's voice. It'll prevent that. I'm kidding. I actually I think cigarettes are extremely gross. It's like one of the grossest things to me. Like, if there's,
I dare you to criticize Pipkin Pippa. No balls.
I can't think of many worse deal breakers than a smoke.
God, I hope Pippa. I don't want Venti to find Pippa. I want Pippa to find Venti, and do a short on that.
Smoker, like, cause that shit, like, you get next to someone, you can always smell that they're a smoker, unless they're extremely casual about it. Like, I don't know, maybe like they smoke.
Oh, I'm quite sure Pippa is aware of Venti. She's aware of all lolcows because Venti is a lolcow. Here is one, qualifies very easily on that front.
When they drink, so they never smell like it. Okay, but like when someone is a regular smoker and you even get close to them, like, I can literally smell it like 6 feet away. I hate it. Fillmore $2 super chat. I dare you to criticize Pippa Pipkin. No balls. Is that a squeaker? Lol gullible. No.
No, Pippa is someone that would break your kneecaps. And you'd be the screamer then.
Oh, yeah, I can't. No, here's what's so funny. She told y'all, no. We're gonna sit down
in Minecraft, of course. Not in a real life situation.
And work through this, okay? You're telling me she had sat down here and told y'all, I have a condition.
Why didn't you fucking tell me? Ah!
And y'all were like, so true. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the cancer. It's the lung cancer or something. It's some mysterious disease or something. And you guys believed it? Oh my god, I see why there's such avid porn addiction on the internet. You guys fall.
Avid porn addiction is when you believe someone has an autoimmune disease. Jesus Christ. What she's talking about?
For anything, huh?
If you believe someone has an autoimmune disease that affects their body, including their voice, you're addicted to porn because you believe that person by proxy.
I am in disbelief. Y'all really sat here and was like, no, it's a mysterious medical illness that makes her sound like a 2-year-old anime girl coming. Are you for real? Do you think I'm that gullible? No, bro, she has vocal aids or something. I think you guys are the one with something if you actually believe that. That's actually kind of disappointing. Lone Wolf 36S $5 super chat. Here's $5 hoping that this is an FBI predator trap. Nasty dudes psychologically. This speaks to deep sickness or I'm crazy. One of the two. I think we're all crazy after this episode.
Deep sickness of the soul, not of the mind, and it's present in her chat as it's been scrolling on the left side. You see what kind of audience she fosters over there. People call me evil, remind you. And this is the audience that she fucking has. And I'm the evil one.
Heretic $2 super chat. There's an article about her. Wow, that makes pandering to 13-year-old boys' sexuality and claiming to be an anime waifu perfectly fine. She was in an article once, and she has a mysterious disease or something. I guess all is well now.
Once, try several tens of times.
Thanks for joining, guys. Good night.
Skipping around because she just continues to insult Ironmouse. I think she returns to her at some point. There's some chats that were notable too. Yeah, this is the place.
Did I not get Squeaker DLC or what? She used to be an operatic singer before she got sick. Don't look up Project Melody. No, I know what Project Melody is. Project Melody, their first live stream on Twitch, they literally, this is like a camming VTuber, okay, pornographic. They went on Twitch and they literally put the dildo on the bed, forgot to take it off because it's the same avatar, same everything. And they're just on Twitch, and Twitch was like, yep, seems good. We're going to sponsor you guys or whatever, partner you. So that's what happened, and they actually partnered with Project Melody in terms of like, meaning they can subscribe and stuff. You have to be partnered with Twitch. You have to sign a contract in order to accept more ad rev. But yeah, I don't really see how someone having an immune disorder is relevant. Like if somebody actually falls for that, like, oh, I'm sick, like this is Mean Girls or something, that's on you. We're just gonna laugh at you.
Fuck you.
You totally could have a voice change from a medical illness. Not to where you literally, oh, so she got the illness and then magically happened to sound like a squeaky anime 2-year-old girl. Okay, the illness just happened to make her sound like that. The autoimmune disease, for some reason, just only attacked her vocal cords in a certain way to where it was pitched up to sound like a 2-year-old toddler.
How long has it been that way? How long?
Oh, Venti, I pray you'll never have anything like Ironmouse does. Oh, I fucking pray for that.
How long has it been that way? I too wonder. But yeah, tragic.
I may be joking about, you know, misogyny passes and shit like that, but I hope this fucking bitch doesn't have to go through what Mouse has been going through most of her adult life. But, you know, you have to be, you have to strengthen your argument as best as possible, even if you have to dunk on someone's fucking serious medical condition and make fun of it. Because your audience likes that, you know? those same fucking dudes that keep on repeating the same fucking stupid jokes about voice changes and 45-year-old dudes pandering to pedophiles and calling it, this is literal CP. Fuck that. And fuck this.
I just hate when my autoimmune disease makes me sound like a 2-year-old toddler. That goes perfectly with the whole anime waifu shtick that's literally in my bio. Ugh, gee, I sure hate when that happens. Just Nova 1138499 super chat. Real talk, what made you turn from a parody caricature to be authentic? Too much stress yelling.
You'd think this is a parody because, you know, normal fucking people do not act like this.
It was too much. It's funny, but it like got old, and also like it aged out of the meta, and also like I was getting migraines from like.
Mind you, this is something even Destiny, a popular lefty streamer, a VTuber, has brought to the forefront. Venti is the same off and on character, meaning she's just stupid, and she was always like this. There was never a character. There was no fucking trolling. This is just how she is.
Screaming and stuff, so I had to chill out. Like even though it was fake, it's still physically stressful.
I mean, you saw that video about Gura. That was supposed to be in character. It's the same fucking shit that she does here, and she's supposed to be authentic. There's no fucking difference. Same arguments, same everything else.
Stressed me out and raised my blood pressure too much. Levi $5 super chat. Beep boop base Venti. Thank you, Bimbot. Levy. Christopher Gawr wanted 199 super chat. Missed my drivers, but you got me lolling. Okay, I'm gonna scroll back up and comb through the ones that I missed too. It's just because I went out of order. Scrolling down, catching up with you guys. Forster Green $5 super chat. Have you ever came more whiter? I'm talking about your complexion. I generally wear sunscreen.
Give a fuck about her pulpit audience. Oh, here's the fucking simp super chat that I mentioned. I wish you were my Valentine. Have a good weekend. And she doesn't have simps, bro.
Even though it's more calories. So that's my psychotic way of dealing with that, personally. But I am not dissuaded by the taste of alcohol whatsoever. Like, I kind of like it a little bit, like,
Whatever. Back to this.
Who will want you as their Valentine. As long as you give them your attention, they will gladly develop a parasocial relationship with you. Don't worry, it's healthy. Twitch said so. Devil-Eyed Elvis 999 super chat. I'm 42 and I've watched the access to porn increase and screw up people over the years. Also not a prude or religious, it's just simply the observation. Yeah, I think that.
Scrolling more. I think this was about when she was done with VTubers. Then she just interacted some with her chat and watched the latest of Jim Can Swim videos. I saw that guy being propped up by a lot of people, but in terms of blaming porn for everything, he's pretty much almost the same as Venti. Sure, his videos have takes on you know, psychological aspects of dealing with criminals and how they are doing interrogations, but the fucking guy blames everything on fucking porn addiction. Like, watch a few of his videos, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, at this point, she was basically done with VTubers, and I think we are done with her own stream here. Let me get
That's only on virtual.
let me get some music up.